Fox News alert, it's decision day for President Trump. In just 4 hours from now, he'll announce his Supreme Court nominee. It's a bold move that could reshape the high court and country for a generation and cement his presidential legacy. The source is telling Fox News that President Trump has made a final decision after reports that he was considering 4 candidates: Judges Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Raymond Kethledge, and Thomas Hardiman. Senator Lindsey Graham saying the president can't go wrong with either of these contenders.
Republicans are holding 4 lottery tickets, and all of them are winners. If you're a conservative Republican, the 4 people named, particularly Thomas Hardiman, I'm glad he's on the list, are all winners, and every Republican should embrace these picks.
Meanwhile, regardless of who the president picks, the stage is being set in the Senate for a major confirmation battle. Democrats are using scare tactics to try and damage Trump's nominee.
We already know that President Trump's nominee will be prepared to overturn the precedents of Roe v. Wade and NFIB versus Sebelius. We know that because President Trump has said so.
It's about more than the next election. It's about what the country, the United States of America, is going to chart as its course in the future.
I've never seen a president of the United States, in effect, make himself a puppet of outside groups and choose from a group of right-wing fringe ideologues.
I frankly don't even think we should be considering this nominee.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, we'll begin with Gutfeld. Sean Hannity over here.
Wow.
You've seen a few of these confirmation battles. How is this one any different shaping up, in your opinion?
I'm actually lucky because the decision will be made at 9:01:30 Eastern Standard Time, just as Hannity goes on the air, which I'm pretty happy about. By the way, thank you all for having me. It's great. I'm not as funny. I am not as funny as Greg Gutfeld. I'm warning everybody at home. I have at 9:03 Eastern. The left is going to begin the process of trying to smear, besmirch, slander, destroy the character of whoever the president picks.
Right.
You know, we use the term borking now almost as a verb, or you think of what a great justice. Clarence Thomas, if you haven't read his book, which is called My Grandfather's Son, it is one of the great American hero success stories. Juan is shaking his head. It is one of the best books I've ever read, and he's become one of our great justices. Whoever the president picks, and I think those are the names. The great thing is that he told us all of this ahead of time, and it will be another promise made, promise kept. And the other thing, Newt Gingrich and I were just talking, and he said to me, he goes, before the president makes his decision tonight, close your eyes. And for 30 seconds, just think, imagine if it was Hillary making that choice. It would be nobody close to who the president will pick. President believes this is about judicial philosophy, constitutionalism, originalism versus judicial activism. And it really, that's pretty much it.
And do you think, Dana, the Democrats could overreach to a certain point where it really hurts them in the midterm elections by going so crazy against a pretty, reasonable nominee?
Possibly, and Dick Durbin, I think we just had him there, saying that it's more important to stand on principle to them than it is to worry about those red state Democrats. I don't know if that will actually hold true. For example, take somebody like Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota. Just today, the Fox News Power Rankings moved her seat from a toss-up to likely Republican. And that means that she's got a big decision to make. And because that race is moving away from her, she has a way then to buck her party, the Democrats, and to vote with the president and try to keep her Senate race competitive if she decides to do that. So I think you'll see that. I think McCaskill will be under pressure in Missouri. I think Donnelly will be under tremendous pressure in Indiana. I don't think that the pressure on Collins and Murkowski on the Republican side will be that persuasive. At the end of the day, when they voted for Gorsuch, they were there. They might have had concerns. I think that at the end of the day, they will also be for whoever the president picks here. I could be wrong, of course, but my gut instinct is that there's going to be a lot of fire and fury, so to speak, but that when the vote is called, that the Republicans will come home. And
from the list, Kimberly, it doesn't seem of the 4 people that we've been talking about, there's any really red flags among either one of them. No one's screaming David Souter really loud or anything like that. It looks like a pretty sure thing no matter who he goes with.
Yeah, I think it's like you can't even go wrong with the main primary ice cream picks, right? Vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. You may prefer one a little bit over the other.
All solid
but they're all
choices.
fantastic, solid choices. They've been incredibly well vetted by the Federalist Society, by the Heritage Foundation as well. And the initial list of 20 that the president put together with his team and with advisors was outstanding. He then also listened to input and feedback from other people, added 5 additional names, and then subsequent to that, he's narrowed it down to 4 quality candidates, 4 people that would admirably serve this country and welcome the opportunity and have pledged to follow the law and have demonstrated that when you look at the review of their judicial record, of their opinions. Some have written more opinions than others. That will always give the other side some meat to be able to pick with, to try to take issue with whoever the president chooses. But he made an outstanding choice with Neil Gorsuch, and I fully expect that he's going to make another very good choice, an announcement tonight during the 9 p.m. hour on the Hannity show, and we'll find that out. And in fact, 32 of the top deans, scholars, and attorneys, government officials have concurred that the president's choice will be confirmed and put through. So regardless of what side you're on, Democrat or Republican, they agree with that, liberal or conservative. So ultimately, and I agree with Zaina, that they will in fact get this through. So we just have to, trust in the judgment. He's made solid choices, and like Sean said, these are promises made, promises kept. He promised to put conservatives, constitutionalists that would follow the law on the bench, and I fully expect that that's who he'll choose tonight.
Juan, are you having nightmares over these potential picks?
Look,
are they going to get a fair hearing?
Hannity's worried that he's not funny enough. I think this is hilarious what you guys are doing. It's like like an echo chamber in here. Oh, he's picked wonderful people. Oh, they've been thoroughly vetted by who? Heritage and the Federalist Society? You kidding me?
And
this is what
Democrats.
Blumenthal was talking about. Fringe candidates, that's it.
But they've
That's
all been confirmed by the Senate before. Because they're circuit
We're
court
talking
judges.
about the Supreme Court. And remember, Dana, we're talking about a president who has said, you guys say promises kept. He said he wants somebody who's going to undo Roe v. Wade, take away abortion rights in this country.
That's not
Someone
true.
who would do away with gay rights in this country.
No. What's
is
not
this
true
nutty? And these guys are sitting here saying, oh, perfectly normal. Blumenthal is right. These are fringe candidates.
Well, then why did the Democrats confirm them all on previous occasions when they were up for U.S. Court of Appeals?
The key thing here, Kimberly, is are you going to abide by the laws of the United States and recognize precedent?
That's correct.
And what you have, especially in the case, and I think this is your #1 pick, Amy Coney Barrett, right? She said precedent doesn't matter to her. So, I mean, that's why you had a call from the Senate Majority Leader saying, hey, I think there's a little trouble if you pick her.
But my point about Roe is, what happens if Roe was overturned? What would happen? Do you really believe it would go?
I think there are a number of states who would overturn abortion rights in this country.
Would New York, New Jersey, California, Illinois, probably about, I can count 45 states that would at least, if not 48 or 49.
Is that your assurance to the American people who by 2/3, I think it's 2/3 or better, say we don't want Roe v. Wade overturned?
But there is nuance and intellectualism. These are people that have immersed themselves in constitutional thoughts and writings and their particular cases that they work on. But let me concede a point. You know what? I really do think Dick Durbin is right. I think that every Democratic senator in a red state needs to go and commit political suicide. Heidi Heitkamp, Claire McCaskill, they need to put it all on the line and oppose whoever the president picks. I think that's great advice, and I think Dana's point is dead on.
I'm sorry,
I just found it was reported that Senators Donnelly, Manchin, and Heitkamp, all Democratic senators in red states that are running for re-election, were invited to the announcement tonight, but they declined.
Correct. And I think that what you're going to see is, to the contrary, tremendous pressure on Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, 2 Republicans who are pro-choice Republicans, to say, hey, you know what, this is too much. You can't just have the Supreme Court become a rubber stamp for a right-wing agenda.
What evidence do you have of that?
This is illegitimate. This is not
Where's the
democratic.
evidence? You say these things and you're trying to scare the American people.
I'm not scaring anybody. I just tell them the facts.
Oh, you're scaring
Because-
people.
no.
You have no idea.
Nina Totenberg literally made the comment that it's the end of the world as we know it. So, and Dick Durbin is telling these red state senators, Democrats, to commit political suicide.
No, it's not political suicide.
Oh, yeah, it will be.
It's a matter of conscience and voting for what is right as opposed to
Hillary lost,
political power.
Right.
What?
Right.
Hillary lost.
Yeah, so Hillary won the popular vote, too.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but those aren't the rules we play under.
All right, so
you can't change the rules
I'm not
after you
trying to change
determine
the
the
rules,
winner
but
lost.
when you say that,
But
what
guess
you
what?
have is
One.
an unpopular president and an unpopular Senate trying to force on the
The
American
highest numbers
people
he's ever
a
had.
corrupt right-wing agenda.
Okay, but Juan, why is it then, in good conscience and good faith, and having studied all of this in terms of the U.S. Court of Appeals and these judges where they've been appointed, why did the Democrats vote to confirm them to begin with if they were not qualified?
No,
they
I
should
didn't
not
say
serve
that.
on the United States Supreme Court if they weren't qualified already to serve on the Court of Appeals, and they were put through by Democrats, liberals, conservatives, all of the like. They were confirmed, they were put forward,
This is a
and
totally
that's why
different...
those names have been proffered by the president.
No, they're not. I mean,
Yes, it is.
I think they're proffered because he believes that they will do what he promised, as you said earlier, promises made, promises kept, overturn abortion rights in this country.
We're going to go to break, but when we go to break, just close your eyes, as Sean recommended, and just imagine if Hillary Clinton was president.
Boy, wouldn't that be wonderful?
All right.
Get the smelling salts.